Apa kabar? Welcome everybody. How's everybody doing? It's another week and latest update. The last time you joined us, we kata Rafiq got COVID. 2 weeks has passed and I pula kena. So yeah.
Yay for 2022. Yay.
Yeah, for 2022.
Like I said last time lah, this is you kena jinx already.
That's why I go say 2020 TOO habis tak apalah. But like last week we were talking about a few things, and from 2 weeks ago, sorry, last week, like 2 weeks ago, there's a few updates we have covered today. Few updates regarding some announcements and some discussions in Parliament and so on and so forth. We will go into it in more detail in a bit. But first, as usual, kita touch base. If you're watching this after this is live, thank you so much for watching. Please share this with all your friends in case they want to learn. What we're going to teach today is from the main topic is of course the minimum wage of 1,500 kan. But we want to discuss all kinds of different things of the whether it's valid or not, how to grow it, and dan lain-lain. So if you got any questions, put it down in the comment section. We will reply to it live. Tapi kalau bukan live, tak apa. Kita boleh reply to it later just by replying to your comments. Alright? So itu sudah clear. Next one, scan the QR code kat tepi tu because then you get a free financial health check or the HTTP at the top. You just type in, okay? And follow Vantage punya social media up there. Well, Vantage, my okay. Then update first. Like I said, brought up COVID kan. I'm slightly slow dalam my otak. I don't know why my response and my thinking slightly off. So please bear with me this week. Sebab I just fully recovered. Now let's look into apa ni. The first thing that we're going to cover is the EPF announcement. If you check about the EPF announcement, of course, it's already announced at the EPF website itself that yes, that 10,000 thing is happening. Yes, you can start applying for it on the 1st of April all the way to the 30th of April. But the first payout will be April 20 something, kalau tak 22nd or something like that. So the first payout is going to happen there. We have covered EPF withdrawal, the iCitra and all that before. We've discussed the merits of it. Tapi just a refresher course in case the first time you're watching, we will bring up some points. Tapi if you want to go in detail, you can check out the old videos. So Rafiq, good idea ke bad idea?
Yeah. So I recently posted on my Facebook because like I think it was yesterday in one of the trainings that I conducted for this week. One of the participants basically just pointed out that she said that for some reason setiap kali EPF buat some announcement either that day or the next day Encik Rafiq akan keluar TV.
What is going on?
So
is
like
it a coincidence?
I do not know lah. I think already kena chop with the TV people lah. The TV people like let's get a hold of Rafiq whenever EPF makes an announcement. So I tried to tag EPF lah, but EPF hasn't responded yet lah. Jokes aside lah.
Jokes aside.
Yeah. So like what JJ said lah. So this is something that we've talked about quite extensively. I think because since the start of COVID, right? So there's several EPF withdrawal schemes that was announced and was launched. So this is the newest one, and as what I think they're saying that this is probably the last one lah for now.
Yeah.
So this is last one for now. So And similar to what I've been saying before, just as a recap. So basically, whether you take it out or not, first of all, this is your money. Okay, this is your
Yes.
money. It's your right to do whatever that you want with it. Okay, it's your right to do whatever you want with it. But um, just please take note lah. So if let's say you have a reason to take it out, then by all means go ahead. So means
Correct.
what does having a reason to take it out means? Okay, so you're still affected by COVID, so your income is
Yeah.
still not up to where it was before COVID, right? Yeah. Okay. That 10,000 would probably be helpful. Go ahead,
Correct.
take it.
Yeah.
Okay. So your income might have recovered somewhat, but you've utilized all your emergency funding. That
Then
10,000
take it.
could help you
Yeah.
replenish part of the emergency funding. Go ahead.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Um, you still have some income, but due to now moratorium has finished, no more moratorium,
Ah. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And while you're figuring out how to make ends meet because your expenses for the past 2 years has changed a bit because of the moratorium. So
Yeah.
you might have, okay, so before COVID, so your spending pattern was set. Okay, this is how much I pay in terms of my loans. This is how much in terms of I pay on my other commitments, school fees, makan, all that, right? So that was that. But because of what has happened in the past two years, so
Mhm.
certain things might change. So without moratorium, so with the moratorium, so now suddenly, okay, you had extra money for 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the mindset of most people when they have extra money is that they're going to spend.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the thing.
Yeah, and the mushrooming buy now pay later schemes doesn't help.
Ooh. The
Yeah,
most
so a lot
dangerous
of people.
thing ever.
Yeah, so because the thing
This,
is, okay, we're at home 24/7. So say, oh, my TV is too small lah. I think I need to upgrade it. And oh, I'm working from home all the time. I need to
ah,
buy a new laptop. I need to buy a new desktop. Right?
ah.
Uh, duduk rumah kena kena masak. Jom reno the house. Jom buy all the new perkakas and everything. So, but the thing is,
Correct.
okay, duit tak cukup juga. Tapi if we do this buy now pay later, we should be
Can.
able to afford it. Okay,
Should be.
but then they do it. Yeah, at that point of time, that was true
Yeah.
because you didn't have to pay the loans that you had before.
Yeah.
So you went ahead and make new loans, thinking that
Yes.
you could afford it. So now suddenly, oh, moratorium finish. So you still have the new hutang you made. Then the old
Yeah.
hutang say, "Hey, haven't seen you for 2 years.
Apa khabar? I'm back. Okay.
Apa
Just a
khabar?
side.
Lama tak jumpa."
Just
Yeah.
just side note to remind people, we actually spoke about moratorium and how to speak to banks in our past episode. So if you're one of
Hmm.
those who moratorium dah habis, tapi you cannot afford it, but you don't know how to talk to banks, go and watch one of our old shows. We've spoke about that already. Okay, back to the topic at hand.
Yeah. So then, when I'm not saying that this 10,000 will really help you solve your issue lah, but at
Yeah,
least with that 10,000, one is you probably buy some time. Two
that's
is
the
it
word.
probably you can help to pay off some of the buy now pay later punya things that you
Correct.
purchase.
Yeah,
So that then
yeah,
okay, you can just you're left with your original hutang, so that
yes.
you can survive. Yeah. So
And
if let's say you're in any of those categories, then yeah, by all means, it's your money.
correct,
Go ahead, take it because your need now is more important than whatever can happen in the future.
correct. Correct, correct.
Yeah.
And we've also discussed if you want to take out and invest it somewhere else so that it's more liquid just in case in the future you need to just access that money, it's easier. Also can, but always be reminded that the percentage you get back from EPF is quite high.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken, it's 6 point something, right? Or 6.1.
I think for the conventional account is 6.1. The Sharia account is 5.65.
Ah, So if you can find something else that can give you better returns and more liquid with 10,000, then can. Then we're not saying don't. All right.
Yeah.
But if your returns is not secure when you're talking about your 10,000, you put there, and then next thing you know, 5 years down the line, it's only 5,000, then don't. So senang je the concept. We want to say hello to Victor. What's up? Thank you so much for watching.
Hi,
Payout starts
Victor. Good
20th
evening.
of April. Thank you for updating that. I thought 22nd. Yes, payout starts 20th of April. Which I know setengah orang most probably thinking, oh, boleh guna duit itu untuk raya? Please don't do that. Okay?
Yeah.
Think of the loans and all that boleh. Tapi nak kalau untuk raya, tu, janganlah. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Ya,
It
2 tahun tak raya. 2 tahun
so
tak raya. So
you
now
might overdo
kena
it.
kena tukar curtain, kena tukar sofa. Yeah, so yeah, 10,000 sounds about right.
Yeah, so that's
But
what I'm
in
saying.
the end lah, like jokes aside lah. So
Correct.
like what basically what we're saying is, if let's say you need it, take it. Okay. So
Yeah,
if there's no need, don't take it, because it will have other repercussions in the future.
correct.
Let's
Okay.
put it that way.
Dah, cukup. If you want more details about this whole topic about whether to take EPF or not, blah 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 blah, look in our past shows. Ada. We'll try and find which episode it was. We'll try and put it in the comment section later on so that you can go look at that. But now let's go to the main topic today. Okay, just a reminder one more time. Welcome to the show. If you got any questions whatsoever, just put it in the comment section. We will reply you not instantly lah. We'll reply your question. It doesn't have to be about the topic. It can be about any random financial question pun boleh. We won't say cannot. Tetapi our focus today is going to be on the announcement of minimum wage of 1,005. We have covered this before where we said 2005 should be the living wage. But since we're talking about minimum wage of 1,005, let's start there. How? Can ke tak boleh, in your opinion?
Hmm. Okay. I think I've said this before. I think when we were talking
Yes.
about when we were talking about 1002 before lah. So my personal view, and would say my professional view, and also my own view as a owner of a company, is that we should be paying livable wage to employees.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes, a lot of people say, oh, nanti kalau naikkan ni semua. Yes, I do understand that. I'm also a business owner. I'm also a business owner. Um, but I think there needs to be a balance lah.
Yeah.
Yes, employees are there to help you create revenue, to help you generate profits, etc. Blah blah blah. But at the same time, the employees need to be um, you need to pay them what constitutes a livable wage, so that then they don't do other things.
Correct.
So then
Correct.
because they then have sufficient income to survive, to have takaful, to put aside savings, etc. Blah blah. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
in my opinion is if it's a livable wage, then your employees will have more focus on work. Sometimes when it's just a minimum wage and just barely get by, their mind is not totally on work. Yes, they were doing the work, but if they've got like beban for loans lah, ni lah, that lah, it will interrupt their productivity. That is a
Yeah.
fact.
Correct. And the other part, when they don't earn livable wage, so then they will then also be tempted to like look into like things like get rich quick schemes,
Correct.
etc.
Correct.
Because that would then be a chance for them to get out from their current situation.
Yes. Yeah. And they will more susceptible to stuff like that. Or even
Yeah.
on another note is, oh, I've got to find an extra job. Only then only I can survive. So they overwork themselves. Like during work, of course, they work, then they go find another job at night, and then they do that, and then get minimum amount of sleep, and then their productivity at work once again goes out, and
Yeah,
and it doesn't help you at all.
correct. Yeah, but
So
to be fair also to the owners of the company,
yeah,
so it's obviously not that easy to change overnight lah. It's
yeah,
not that easy to change overnight. Just to be fair, but then you can also say that this thing should have happened quite some time ago.
agreed.
This proposal should have some happened some time ago lah, right? But if you ask me, like at least in the past, I think what 5 to 10 years, we've actually raised the minimum wage floor
Yeah.
from, yeah, I think it was like below 1,000 before it
Oh,
was raised to 1,002.
yep, yep, yeah, yeah,
Then
yeah, yeah.
now it's going to be raised to 1,005. So at least okay lah. If you look at the glass half full punya concept, at least we're moving towards where it's supposed to be.
Correct, correct. No, but this being said, uh, um, my laundry right now, I've got a worker, right? And my worker is a full-time staff, and the full-time staff, what the basic job is jaga the laundry, wash, dry, and fold for people's clothes. Their minimum wage before anything else, which I've got extra bonuses to pay them, is already 1,005. So if you're talking about a fresh grad who's just graduated,
Mm.
and you expect them to earn the same amount as my worker, I think that's ridiculous, lah. But
Correct. Because the thing is, I think as an employer, you can still plan. Okay, so yeah, let's say if I do increase this, so what would be the impact?
yeah,
Can my current margin cover it or not? Right.
correct,
Because there
correct.
might be certain, okay, you're generating profits and you are then paying taxes and everything. But by increasing your employee costs, it actually then
Mm,
takes money from your profit, which then reduces the tax that you pay.
correct, correct.
So it's not like just a simple mathematical equation lah. So there are other things at play here, but
Other factors.
I think I'm on the same mind with you lah. So it's okay. I think as an employer, like okay, if let's say you do, let's say, increase your staff salaries, etc., blah blah blah. So then take that into account when you do your planning, your cash flow for the year and everything. Then you figure,
Yeah,
okay, what is it that I need to do in order to generate more efficient, to be more efficient in generating revenue compared to before,
right, correct. Agreed,
right? So
agreed.
so there are options sometimes, like, and I believe human beings are very adaptable, very flexible, but sometimes we just need to be pressured before we can find the
Solution.
solution.
Yeah, yeah. It's like
Yeah, for
like
me personally, for my
uh,
company, this is not a problem. This is not a problem
right.
because the lowest salaried employee in my company right now is more than 2,000. So
So now you all of a sudden everybody is taking down the social media wealthvantage.my to
yeah,
send you
so
DMs. Habis kau.
yeah, so no, because like I said, we had people who earn below 2,000 before lah, but we did obviously increments, etc. Blah, blah. So now everybody is about 2,000, and hopefully by next year everybody can be above 2,250. So
Yeah,
we're trying to raise the bar, because in the end, like, we want the employees to be able to focus when they do the work,
yeah,
right? And if they can
yeah.
focus, like you said, so it will be better for the firm also. It will be
Correct.
better for the firm,
Correct.
better for the company, so that then they do less mistakes because they're focused, etc. Blah blah. Then things would be more smoother. So that's the whole concept lah, from an employer point of view lah.
I totally agree. And okay, when we talk about this whole thing, also there's a few factors that you got to look at. How big is your company? What kind of income your company is bringing in, and what kind of business your company is doing. That one, all 100% has to take a look at it. Even where your company is located is a factor as well.
Yeah,
So if you think 1,005 and you think of KL or Klang Valley, your mind will blow. Cannot, like, no way someone can survive with that. But
No.
if it's in a smaller place where everything is close by, you can cut costs in other things like even transport and stuff like that, then it is possible.
Yeah, it is. So for me, the concept of livable wage is slightly different than minimum wage, because livable wage will actually differ based on where you are.
Yeah, yeah,
Based on where you are, because okay, if you're talking about consumption, if you're talking about purchasing power, etc., so people that live not within the big cities and etc. actually needs a technically needs a smaller amount of money. I still remember when I first started working. So when I first started working, with Tenaga, there's I can't remember how many of us. So all of us, after our first month of orientation, etc., then we were sent all over the country. So
right.
different departments, subsidiaries, etc. Blah, blah. Okay, so I was sent to one of the subsidiaries in Bangi. Okay,
Bangi, okay, wow.
and yeah, so and I was earning 1,009 at that point of time. Okay, what?
And
Not
that
too high,
one,
not too low, but okay lah. Not still possible to manage lah. Okay.
and
However, my
single some more
friends
still.
who, yeah, no, yeah, 1,009. I was single. Then when it was 2003. I was married. Yeah.
Ah.
So just 400 ringgit. Then suddenly I was able to get married. Yeah. So. Okay, but coming back to the point I was doing, so I
Yeah,
had friends who then worked for, let's say, different departments where they were outside of KL. Okay, not only that they were living outside KL where it's cheaper with the same amount of money, but then they also had additional allowances
oh, because
for
it's
working
far
in
away.
operations. So like things like
Oh,
standby, some even had like yeah far away allowance, all that things
yeah.
like that. Right? So then it was doubly beneficial lah. So you were in a place where it's generally cheaper, but then
Uh-huh.
you are actually earning more. So I still remember my feeling. I was like, this is not fair, man. Because it was the same thing when I was studying. So when I was studying in the States, right? So I actually sent a paper to our scholarship provider with my seniors, right? Because we said, okay, whatever that they were paying us or they were giving us at that point of time wasn't enough for us who were like studying in Boston,
Right.
because Boston
Because
is like one of the top five cities, one of the top five most expensive cities in the whole of United States, right? So and
right.
whatever they're giving wasn't enough compared to, let's say, my good friend studied in Urbana Champaign. So most of you might have not heard this place called
Of
Urbana Champaign,
yeah.
but it's a very small town. Okay, it's a very small town. It's probably like around the size of Kanga at most.
It's
At
yeah
most.
lah.
So Kanga is bigger than it. Okay, yeah. So and having that same amount,
Yeah.
living in that place has more value compared to me who was studying
Correct.
in Boston.
Correct.
And we also had a comparison because our counterparts who were studying in UK, so people who studied in London actually got more than the people who studied elsewhere,
Because of what?
because
Exchange rate, is it?
London was just expensive.
Okay, okay, understand.
Yeah. So London was just expensive, right? So then we tried our luck, but we couldn't get it approved lah. We couldn't get
Right.
approved. So what then happened? What then happened? We then worked.
Yeah.
We did part time work,
Cari. Yeah. Because to
cari duit
afford lah.
tambahan.
Yeah.
Correct, because to afford to live there, because to afford
Which
to live
which
there.
is which is crazy,
Which is
right?
counterproductive lah. Which is like
Yeah.
you're sending us to go there to study so that
Study.
we can get good grades and etc. But we also then have to work in order just to be able to survive.
I don't know what to say. But
Yeah. So
it happens
but
all
that's
the
the
time.
whole concept about a livable wage. So a
Yeah.
livable wage will be tailored to where you are, your
Yeah.
socio-economic punya situation, things like that. So
Yeah.
It's slightly different than minimum wage. Where, okay, you're going to put everybody the same. So like right now, okay, it's 1,500 across the country.
Yeah.
So there will be people, obviously, okay, you already said, okay, people in KL and Selangor is like, okay, it's good that you're raising it. So now at least I have extra money, but it's still not enough,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Whereas like
Correct.
somebody who's probably in like the outskirts, etc., like, oh, okay, now with this money, I can actually put money aside for savings.
And yeah, correct. And even the comforts they live in is much different. They can
Yeah,
actually rent a house instead of just one tiny room.
correct. So in KL, oh, one tiny room might be 500, 600 ringgit a month.
Right.
in in some places, I know one of the firm's client who actually moved to Perlis. Okay, moved to
Right.
Perlis to this small town of Basri, which was close to my school. Um, Rented a house,
Uh, uh,
a
uh.
house for 300 ringgit a month.
300 ringgit. A whole
Yeah,
house.
a whole
See?
house.
See? So this is why a lot of people are all of a sudden saying, can I work from home? And then I'm moving my home to somewhere else.
Yeah, actually, that was what happened in the States,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
COVID happened and everything. So a lot of people who were like living in towns, cities like Manhattan, all that. So basically, they stopped paying. They cancel their leases and everything, and they just move away from the major towns, stay away where it's much cheaper because now they can
Yeah.
work remotely.
Correct.
They can still
And
get work
and
done
and
and
because of that,
and
they save a lot
pay
of money.
less.
Yeah.
Yeah, pay
Yeah.
less on for surviving.
It's like a business. Like you think of if the amount of money coming in and amount of money flowing out, what you can retain is your wealth.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
what you're trying to grow is that part. So
yeah.
when it comes to what we think of 1,005, we have discussed this in detail before. But if we want to know from you, if you've got any opinions, once again, remember just put it in the comment section. We will read it out and we'll answer it like if you've got any questions. Okay. So far, a lot of people have I mean, like if you're watching this after the fact, you can also still put it down in the comment. If this is not
Yeah.
live, we will try and answer it as well. Okay, now let's
Just
go.
okay. Can I
Sorry,
just add one more
continue.
point? I'm not sure
Yep,
whether it's something that you're gonna ask lah. But just increasing for I'm just talking from the employee's point of view. Just
yep,
by increasing the minimum salary from 1,200 to 1,500, for somebody that still has 30 years of working in front of them lah. So basically,
yep.
orang baru start kerja, right? So it just on EPF savings alone, is a difference about 70,000 ringgit over
Serious?
that period. Yes.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that itself is one. Okay, but if let's say with the additional 300 ringgit gross, let's say that person can also then put aside 100 ringgit a month
Yep.
for a period of 30 years, right? So at 8%, assuming at 6% a year, that person can get another 100,000 for 30
See,
years. So just by that virtue, that change, so this person would be 160,000 better off
yeah,
by the time they reach their retirement age.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So it's a positive for the employee side lah. Is a
yes.
positive for the employee side.
So which was the where I wanted to go to also after this. We already 1,005. That's the set thing,
Mm.
right? Let's talk
Yep.
about how can one. Let's put a variable that's very clear here. Okay, 1,005 single.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
let's start with that. It's easier. Don't 1,005 married. Okay, 1,005 single. How can one grow their wealth with 1,005 single, and what kind of growth when it comes to income coming in should they look at? Like if I'm starting, my minimum wage is 1,500. Within 2 years, I should get X amount of money so that when I retire, I can retire comfortable, not rich, but comfortable.
Yeah. So assuming okay lah. So let's do this lah. So assuming you're starting at 1,005, right?
Yep,
You're starting at 1,005, and let's say assume that you get at least basic 3% increment on a
yep.
year-to-year basis. So you
Okay,
work for 30 years. You work for 30 years, and you're starting at, let's say, 1,005. Um, so you're starting at 1,005. So by the time you get to your end period, assuming there's no promotions, etc., blah blah blah, you will end up with a basic salary about 3,640.
okay. So you,
So during the 30 years, like so
yep,
1,005, you move at 3% a year, you move to about 3,640 lah, assuming no
yep.
promotions, no jumping, whatever lah. Okay. Versus
Night
if you
grade.
start at 1,000, yeah, if you start at 1,002,
Yep.
you will only end up at 2009
Wow. After 30 years,
after 30 years.
somehow that sounds so depressing.
Yeah, so after 30 years. So just imagine somebody like this, like, oh, okay, work for 30 years. Then by the time I reach my retirement, I'm only earning 2009. So then this is actually makes sense. Like when EPF comes up with all their studies, etc., blah, blah, with a lot of nations not being able to be retired at age 55,
Right, right,
mainly it's actually due to the income that they're getting.
right. Okay. Because you won't be able to save enough in your EPF for to live. Okay, at
Mm.
the end of the day, you see what we're talking about is to live comfortably, and you have to also look at inflation. You look at prices of things are going up. So if your wealth doesn't grow as well proportionate to the inflation,
Mm.
you could like at end of the day like, oh, I got 100,000, but 100,000 in 30 years time might mean nothing. Might, I'm not saying 100% yes, might mean nothing. So
Yeah.
that's just scary.
Yeah. So, so and because like if you don't have that much, so there is still there is basically an upper limit to what you're able to achieve
Yeah,
with
yeah.
without taking some risk. You can still you can still I'm not saying that it's going to be easy for you to invest yourself out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
It is still possible. It's still possible, but you basically before your investments then bear fruit and everything, you basically have to like ikat perut lah.
Uh, Correct. Now let's talk about the Ika Perut. What steps um, or what things can you do to make that 1,005 go further?
Okay, so
I
right now I'm basically assuming okay, we're
sim,
basically going to make this assumption that 1,005 is enough lah.
yes, we're making an assumption 1,005 is enough. So let's assume, let's take 1,005 in a place that is affordable. I know a lot of people be in KL. Let's think outside of KL sekejap. Just once in a while. Let's look outside KL. So outside KL, 1,005, maybe after this, Google opens up an office in Sekinchan or someplace that it's
Yeah,
further that people even can't say. Maybe Menglembu in Ipoh. I'm just saying lah. And the
yeah,
prices there is slightly cheaper. Living wages there slightly cheaper, let's say.
yeah,
And you working remotely, how can one increase? What can they do when it comes to their
yeah.
budget and savings and growing and all that? And also the next question I'm going to ask after that, that is going to be lama already the answer. But after that, I want to ask, if you talk, I don't want to look at the 3%. I'm talking about, okay, after 2 years of 3%, you have to have a jump already. Talking about a bonus or an increase of pay, like a night grade. What should you look at? A 2005 ke, and how to eventually live comfortably when you retire?
Okay. I think okay. So just to set the discussion lah. So
Yep.
first and for all, I'm gonna make the assumption that somebody who earns 1,005 is in admin type role where generally it's like for non-executives lah. So
Yeah.
basically
Okay.
people with probably SPM level education,
All right.
things like that. Because this is
Yep.
going to then frame the discussion for the second question that you asked just now.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So with that in mind, and okay lah, menggelembu ke bursary place ke whatever it is lah. So basically a place that is not Klang Valley.
Yes.
Okay, a place is not Klang Valley. So we were talking before the show today. So it will actually be cheaper. So it will actually be much cheaper. I was just
Correct.
explaining. Okay, like for me from Subang to go to Desa Pandan, so from my house to go to the office, come back. The shortest, not the shortest lah,
The
the
quickest.
most time saving route actually
Yeah.
takes me through 5 tolls pergi balik. So
Ooh.
it's on average about 15 ringgit a day if I were to go to the office every day. So means that if I'm committing to the office and I want to save time,
Yep.
so on a monthly basis that's 15 times 20 at least. So that's 300 ringgit just on tolls alone. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay, 300 ringgit on tolls alone. So then if you drive a car, so if you drive a car in KL, petrol, if you do 195 lah, let's not do 197.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
it's crazy.
Let's not
Yeah,
look
it's
at
crazy. It's
97.
crazy right now. Yeah. So and let's say I still had my Kelisa. Okay, let's
Yep.
say I still had my Kelisa. So I'll be looking at probably 60 ringgit or 60 ringgit lah per week in
Yep.
terms of petrol. So that would be
That's
another
all.
240. So 300 plus 240, that's already 540. Okay. So
Uh,
then parking near the office, Majlis DBKL punya parking per day is 8 ringgit street parking.
yep.
So kali 20, that's another 160. Okay. So just to go pergi balik from work. Not I haven't done
Yeah.
anything else. So just the cost
Correct.
of
Correct.
pergi balik to work is already like 700 ringgit. It's
Oh
already like
wow!
700 ringgit.
You lay it out like that. It's damn scary.
Yeah. Which is half of that 1,005.
Correct.
Which is half of that 1,005. Okay. So but let's say okay, now we flip the script. Okay, now I'm staying in Bursary Palace.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm staying in Bursary Palace and assume lah, okay, I kerja in Kanga.
Yep.
Okay, I
Okay.
kerja in Kanga. So from Bursary to Kanga is just one straight road, which is about, I can't remember, but 10 kilometers max.
Ah.
10
Yeah.
kilometers max, no tolls. No tolls. So okay, I already save on the toll. Okay,
Yeah.
and because it's only one straight need, I can take public transport.
Yes. Yes. Easy. Not
Kereta
that.
pun tak banyak, tak jam. So I can afford to like take public transport to go to Kanga,
Yep.
to go to
Yeah.
work, and then take the bus to come back. So probably let's say 1 ringgit pergi, 1 ringgit balik. So that's like 2 ringgit. So kali 20 days, that's 40 ringgit. Okay,
Yep.
so when I go with this, so I don't have the cost of petrol, blah blah blah. It's just 40 ringgit for me to pergi balik kerja that
Kerja.
earns me 1,005 a month.
Correct.
So that in itself, like that in itself is like a difference of 660 ringgit already.
Which is crazy. Which is
Yeah.
crazy. Wow. Okay. Remember last time I used to make I do parodies, right? And if you listen to Opa KL style, one of the lines I simply just point out which road got toll, which road don't have toll, and then people like, why are you saying that? I said people outside KL don't realize that in the Klang Valley there's a lot of tolls.
There is, and we're building more.
Yeah, that's right.
And we're
It's
still
like
building more.
if you take one wrong turn, habis two ringgit 30 cents.
Yeah,
Instead of free, but then
correct.
it's time. You're paying for the time.
Yeah, correct. So why I'm doing this is I just want to illustrate the impact
Yep.
of where
Yep.
of the livable wage concept lah. So basically, same amount of money working different places has different value.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so taking that into account, so now that I, let's say, okay, I do decide to say work in Perlis. Okay, I decide to work in Perlis, so I'm already saving 660 a month on my traveling costs. Okay, I'm already 660 a month on traveling costs. And let's, okay, talk about accommodation. So I said just now 350 for a house, which
Yes.
means for a room or hostel or whatever is going to be relatively cheaper also.
100 ringgit,
Okay, so
50
if let's say
ringgit,
you
60
share
ringgit.
if you share a house with several of your colleagues and everything, you might be paying, let's
Yeah.
say, 80 ringgit a month, right? Versus in
I
KL, it
cannot
would be at least
imagine.
500 to 600 ringgit.
Correct. Okay lah. Minimum lah. If you're talking about a very very small room, maybe on top of a shop lot, is 350 ringgit.
Yeah,
One small room
yeah. One small
with
room
no
and
windows.
probably no windows. Probably no windows.
Yes. Yeah, no windows. So it's
Probably no
350 for no
windows.
windows, small room.
Yeah, right. So okay, so we have, let's say, we assume 100 lah, 100 plus 40, 140, and
Mm.
then the food is going to be cheap also
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
all the cost around it is cheap.
Yeah.
Okay, so like to get let's say a nasi plus one lao, one sayo, and a drink in KL, you're lucky if you can get it like 5 to 6 ringgit.
If you tell if you find place 5 to 6 ringgit, please tell me. I want to go there and market every day.
Come to my office lah, still can get,
Oh, still can get ah? But
still
then
can
I
get.
got to pay 15 ringgit toll. Tak nak.
Then you have to pay ringgit toll lah. No lah, you come, you go with me to office lah.
Okay, set.
Then you save on the 50 ringgit lah.
Okay. Just to makan lunch cheap. Oh, no, really.
Just to makan lunch. No, but the thing is like one of the reasons why my office area is usually hard to find parking like during lunchtime is because the people from KLCC all come to makan there
Because it's cheap.
because it's obviously it's cheaper than makan at KLCC lah. Let's put it that way.
Correct.
Even if you take a Grab, you go there. You take a Grab for people, right? You go there,
Yeah.
everybody makan and take a Grab to go back. It can probably still be cheaper than, let's say, eating the food court at KLCC.
Correct. No, it's more logical and you can save more money. But so at the end of the day, you go back to 1,500, depending on where you are, could work.
Yeah. So it could work. So, but basically, if you're saying to me, okay, somebody who's staying in Klang Valley, even you're single at 1,005, you really have to find ways to be creative lah in terms of how you manage your money, because I still think that it's not easy. You can still survive. You can still like so basically, okay, find a place very near to the place that you work.
Yeah. So you can walk to
So
work.
you might pay slightly more. You might pay slightly more for the accommodation, but then you save on the transportation cost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is you, because at least then, okay, then the money that you save on the transportation cost is then the money that you can put aside.
Exactly. And that's where you can grow. That's the thing that you grow.
Yeah, and that's the part that you grow. So it depends on how much you'll be able to save lah from doing so. Yeah. So but then that brings us to the second question lah. So okay, if let's say I already worked 2 years, 3 years from, let's say, starting 1,005, and after, let's say, 3 years, I'm only earning, let's say, 1,650.
Okay.
Okay, I'm earning 1,650, but now I want to get married.
Yes.
I want to get married, and while being single was good, I had extra money, etc. Blah blah. Now that I'm gonna get married, it's not enough because I need to put aside money for the children, etc. Blah blah. Now the cost is double, things like that. So say, okay, I need to get, let's say, a minimum of, let's say, 2,005. So basically close to close to 1K increase lah. Close to 1K increase after 3 years of working. Okay. So the first, one of the first things that you need to do is to either improve your qualification or get a skill.
Yeah.
So it cannot be
Upskill.
the pekerjaan category anymore. It cannot be the
Yeah,
pekerjaan category anymore where it's your easily replaceable.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
You cannot do
So
that
it
already.
needs
You
to
gotta
be
have a
it,
skill.
you need to, yeah, you need to have a skill where, okay, now you create more value. So it can be a
Yeah,
technical skill. So it can be like you wireman, or you know how to do something that not a lot of people know how to do. Or like I said, you
agree.
take you from, let's say, SPM or cert. Now you say, okay, I'm going to take my diploma.
Yep. And
Yeah.
the crazy part about the diploma or the suggestions we're giving is, if you know that within 3 years you want to make it at 2005, this 3 years you got to put in extra work. In other words, kerja biasa, nighttime study to improve your
Yeah.
skill. And then your savings start there, but you have more possibilities of getting bigger pay and then increase yourself further.
Yeah. I recently, I think that 2 weeks ago, I had this discussion with my one of my clients about changing jobs. About
Right,
changing jobs. So he wanted to have a chat with me, not because of the financial side. He wanted to have a chat from a career point of view, whether he should do it or not.
right.
Okay. The finances was clear cut. He was going to earn more at that new place. Okay, it was just the career side. Okay,
Yep,
so then I shared him my experience lah, as I were when I was still working for people and everything. So at the start of my career, I was underpaid compared to my qualifications, etc. Blah blah blah, and I actually made it known to my bosses. I made
yeah,
it known to my bosses, but I said it's okay, because at this point of time, I'm joining all these companies in order to develop my competency, develop my skill, develop my career.
yep, yep,
But come to a certain point, once I've already developed, my future employers will be paying premium
yeah.
for what I can do.
Agree.
Yeah, yeah. So like I still remember, like actually I started 1009, 2003, 2004. So this is a year.
Yep,
First year 1009, second year 2003, then 2004, then 2005. 2005 went to 3005, 3005 5000, 5005 7000. So you can see it. So then
yep.
7000 went to 13,000, 13,000 to 19, 90 to 23, 23 to 25. So that was my last salary before I left to do what I'm doing right now.
Yep.
And that was in a span of 10 years.
Whoa,
Yeah. So
that's a crazy jump, bro.
correct. So, but if you look at the numbers, the
Yeah,
jump and the start was minimal.
yeah,
But once I reach a certain level of like experience, etc., the jump at the end was
big.
like exponential.
Yeah, yeah.
It was
It's
exponential. Yeah. So if for those that are looking to make jumps, etc., blah blah, my advice is, while money is important, that should not be your main criteria.
yeah.
That should not be your main
Agree.
criteria. You should always look in terms of what skills or that going to that place you can help you to build up your CV, help your skill set, so that you now become more valuable to your future employer.
Correct. Agreed. Like for me, I graduated as electrical engineer, got zero knowledge about radio, but I was put in a place where I can learn different things. So throughout the years, I learn. Now my knowledge, I can start a radio station just like that. I just need the financing. I can start because I've got that knowledge. So
Mm,
my pay will be based on that.
mm. Yep.
So it's nothing to do with my paper qualification at all. I got zero
Yeah.
paper qualification when it comes to radio, but experience and knowledge and what I've done, that one is worth banyak duit.
Yeah. Yeah, most of the things that I did when I was still earning fixed salary has nothing to do with my qualification. I'm a mechanical
Yes,
engineering graduate. Okay, I'm a
that's right.
mechanical engineering graduate, but in the first few years, yes, I did some engineering punya work. But after I left Tenaga, like none of the things I did was in engineering at all. I was doing
Right.
HR, I was doing finance, I was doing risk management. Nothing. I was doing
Yeah,
planning. Nothing to do with me. And I same with you. I didn't have any qualifications in order to do that.
yep,
But all
yep,
the jobs that I did helped to build up my knowledge, build up my experience, in order to be able to be recognized as somebody who's competent. I wouldn't say I'm an expert or
yeah,
a sifu or whatever in those areas, but at least like I will be able to talk the same language with people who are experts in the area, and at least I will be able to understand them.
yep, yep, yep. Agreed, agreed. So, the knowledge you can learn in a place is very important. I mean,
Mm.
like pace is good and all, but the knowledge is actually very important. It's like, especially like if if someone says you're going to be a junior, you're going to move to this company, and your pay is tak banyak, but you'll be learning from the best in the industry. Then I would say go, because you're going
Yeah,
to learn knowledge that you cannot find in any books.
correct. Yeah, so that obviously, I'm not saying that you should go to a place where you get paid less and you
Yeah,
don't have enough money to survive, etc. Blah blah. No, I'm not saying that, and I don't think JJ is also saying that.
we're
So
not
you
saying that, of course.
still should get paid. But if let's say you have, let's say, a few offers, and one of the offers pays slightly less than the others, but it provides you with the best development opportunity,
Yes,
choose that instead of the one
exactly.
that pays more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Another important thing when it comes to growing your wealth is your network. So if wherever you go, if it allows you to network as well, please go there,
Mm. Yeah.
because after you leave that company, that network still goes with you, that knowledge still goes with you. So it's
True.
very important to remember that.
Correct. So you want to, it's not that hard to find out which networks you want to be involved in, things like that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So okay, so which company, a lot of people know, okay, which companies pays highly for their employees, things like that.
Yep.
You can easily find who are successful people, things like that. One of the easiest way is just go to LinkedIn. Okay, then you can
Yes.
find all of this. So basically, if let's say these are the people that you want to network with, then you find ways in terms of how you can get in touch with them.
Yes.
Okay, when I did this in LinkedIn, semua tak ada. So I was lucky that I was a consultant lah.
Yeah.
So I was able to link with CEOs, board of directors, etc. Blah, 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 when I was doing consulting work. Yeah,
Yep.
so then I'm still in touch with some of them until today, and some
Which
of them
is
are
your
also my
network?
clients,
Yeah.
and some of them are
So
also my clients. So
which is your network? Okay, we've got a question
mm,
from Juliana. She says, apa impact jika ada yang mampu nak meet this minimum to pay salary then end up terminate staff? Apakah majikan yang mampu? Is it mampu or tak mampu? Tak mampu. Okay, okay.
tak
Correct, correct.
mampu.
Okay, go back to the thing, because mampu doesn't make sense to the comment. Okay, tak
Nah,
mampu. Adakah impact jika majikan ada yang tak mampu nak meet this minimum to pay salary then end up terminate staff? Adakah unemployment rate dijangka akan meningkat? That's a uh, interesting question.
mm,
The question is, when it comes to majikan yang tak mampu to meet this minimum wage, my question is, tak mampu because it will eat into profits, or is it tak mampu because the company, the business doesn't make that much? That's the soalan.
yeah. Actually, yeah. The answer to that will make a difference. The
Yeah.
answer to that will make a difference. But if let's say we assume either way, so if let's say, to me, if let's say first and all, if from an employer point of view, it, the staff that you let go, there's a possibility that somebody else is just waiting to snap them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there might be some staff that you're paying at the minimum wage, etc. But that staff has learned a lot of things from you,
Correct.
learn a lot of things from you, and now that you have to let them go because your business cannot afford to have that 300 plus a month salary increase. So now there will be one additional person that is then available in the job market
Yeah.
that have certain skills, things like that. Yeah.
I I I I I
So
I, I want to add into what you just said is like the person working in my shop has worked in this business for more than 3 years. So when they came to me, a lot of people followed her because she likes the way they like the way she works. So they followed her. So you might lose your business income just
mm,
because you thought your employee is not worth it.
yeah, yeah. So
Okay,
and
back to you.
I think similar to what I was saying about employees, when you want to jump jobs, etc., don't look at the money value alone. So employees at the same time also don't look at the don't look at the figure alone. You need to basically be able to see the value of the employees that you have, to
Yeah,
see whether what will actually happen if this particular I have to let go this particular employee because of the minimum salary punya
yeah,
requirement
yeah,
is then raised from 1002 to 1005. So you might feel that like reducing the manpower is the short term answer, but it probably will have like what you say, like it probably have long term implications, because like I said, so that employee might be somebody that a lot of, let's say, your clients are comfortable with.
correct.
So when that person goes away, so then suddenly uh you say, why my revenue went down? So I was hoping that, okay, I let this person go so I would reduce my expenses. The employees didn't expect that the revenue went down together when that
Yes,
particular employee go, right?
Juliana
So
added, sorry, she added the business is a small scale. Yeah, it still doesn't answer the two things we brought up. Tak mampu disebabkan it will eat into profits, or tak mampu because the business itself doesn't bring in that much money.
yeah, because
It's
like I said,
very different.
I think while there will be companies that will be downsizing due to the
Yeah,
minimum wage punya implementation, but there will be companies that will also be waiting to snap some of this talent out.
correct.
Okay, and because they are expanding, because
Yeah,
the economy is cyclical, right? I mean
yeah,
cyclical, so then it probably be beneficial for the companies that snap experience hires. So instead
yeah.
of having to train them from zero, etc., blah blah, so these people come with skill, and the only thing probably, okay, they earn 1,200 before, so now I give them a raise to, let's say, 1,005, because that's the minimum wage,
The minimum
which
wage.
their previous company couldn't afford.
Yeah,
But then I get somebody who can do work with minimal training, minimal supervision, etc., blah blah, which will help to my bottom line.
correct. Because it's cost. Training is cost as well.
Training is cost. Training is
Yeah,
cost. Recruitment is cost. Recruitment
correct.
is also a cost.
So those are the factors you have to look. You just don't look at people only. It's how much you
Yeah.
invested into the people. I give you an example. Senang je. Just imagine you're a restaurant and you got waiters. Okay? So if you think I cannot lah, I want to get rid of certain waiters I cannot afford. But if that waiter you're getting rid of is the reason that some of your customers come in, rather than just your food is good. Say you jual mi curry and there's 5 mee curry shops there. Sometimes the only difference is the waiter that serves the person, and that's the main reason they came. Suddenly, this you say get rid of that, tak apa, get rid of that, and that guy moves to another mee curry shop. That the people who came for that guy will follow that, and you lose out.
Yeah. Uh,
So
so so
a lot of
sometimes
factors.
looking at, okay, it might be counterintuitive coming from a licensed financial planner, but just sometimes looking at the financial figures on its own can be counterintuitive.
Yeah, correct, correct. So
So take into account all the factors before you make the decision lah. Because sometimes once you make the decision, macam the Malay proverbs lah, telajak perahu boleh diundur, telajak kata habis lah,
ah
padah lah kan.
habis.
So
It's
you
like
don't want, yeah, you don't want to be in a position where you cannot then like reverse it anymore lah.
yeah.
So think
So
about it. Talk to other people before you make the final decision lah. Like that's, I think that's the advice that generally is applicable to most
yeah,
situation. Yeah,
correct.
don't just like make the decision on your own,
Rash.
because sometimes like, yeah, there might be far-reaching implications lah in terms of that decision that you just made.
And if you want more detailed discussions with a licensed financial planner, can zoom out, please. Let me just explain to all the things. We've got a button for you to scan down here. It helps you to give you a free financial health check. The code up there, you can type that in. You get a free financial health check. What basically it's done is a licensed financial planner will look at your accounts and give you your red line, red, green, where you are, your financials. But they won't explain to you. If you want to explain more details and talk about further of how to grow your wealth and so on and so forth, and to help you with your decisions, go speak to Wealth Vantage Malaysia. Up there, the social media, follow it because they give a lot of tips, a lot of shows like this, a lot of small content for you to learn. So many things you can do there. But like we said already in this thing, knowledge is one of the things you, when you get it, orang tak boleh ambil dari you.
Yeah,
That's
cannot.
something that nobody can take away from you once you've got knowledge. So learn, follow the social media and learn. If you're watching this after the fact, please share this video with all your friends. Maybe it'll help them. And if you've got any questions, please put it in the comments. We will reply. To everybody who's put all the questions in, Victor, Juliana, thank you so much. We appreciate all your questions. And I guess you can join us again in 2 weeks' time.
Yep, it will
And if you wait,
be it will be bulan puasa already.
bulan puasa already. And just another thing, if you've got a certain topic that you want us to cover, boleh juga, no problem. Just put a suggestion in the comment section, and maybe in 2 weeks' time we might cover your topic.
Yeah, or you can PM me or JJ.
Itulah. Itu pun boleh.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You can also PM me or JJ or PM World
Correct.
Vantage Advisory saying that, hey, can we talk about this topic? Yeah, then
Can.
we will look at it, and yeah, if it's something that is would be something that we can talk, that's always the first one. If we cannot,
Yep.
then we'll find somebody. We'll probably find somebody that we can also invite, right?
Yep.
So ni. For me, I think one of the future ni, I just talked to one of my clients who's a business owner
Uh-huh.
who went from very high to then the very lows. Now is like on the ni. So basically to
Up
basically
there.
share his experience lah,
Oh, please
to
do.
share,
I think it
yeah, to
will
share
help a
his
lot of people.
experience, like how he viewed money back then, to during the lows, how he viewed money then, and then how he now that he's going back up, and how he's viewing money now. Because and he's keen lah
Nice.
to
I got a lot of questions.
to share his experience. Yeah, to share experience lah.
I've got
And
a lot of questions.
obviously he knows who JJ is, and said, yeah. Yeah, he will be interested lah. It's just, I think, just to find the time lah, just to
Then
find the time basically and when he can join us.
I would love that. That would be so awesome if that can happen. But once again, thank you everybody for watching. Please share this video with your friends, put in the comments, and we'll catch you
Yep.
again in 2 weeks' time. Bye.
Okay, bye
Selamat berpuasa.
everyone. Selamat berpuasa in like less than a few days.